Okay guys, it's launcher time. So the first launcher I've got to do is the CIGMA 2B. We've got to get 30 special zombie kills with a launcher. Ah, this is going to be real fun. Boom! There we go. Alright, we leveled up as well. Nice. Opal done for the Sigma 2B. Okay, secondly and lastly, we have the HE1. Let's go. You know what? I think I'm going to do the rest of them on Citadel. Look, I've got 16 out of 30. I'm not even going to spend any more time on the tomb because he's just not getting me anywhere with this type of weapon. Alright, that's one. The second one. Get lost. Shit. I don't know if I've... Did I do it? Did I do it? Yes? No? Got the nail gun, apparently. There we go. Opal is done for the two weapons, and now let's get to the video. Okay, guys, so here we are on the LMG's video, finally, for the Opal camos. It has been a little time in the waiting. I know with the Diamond Camo grind, I basically did it pretty early into the game. But with these ones, they're a lot more laid back, so I didn't think there would be much of a reason for me to get them out of the way first. Really a stark difference from the multiplayer grind. Let me just say that much. Like, just the overall Opal grind for these launchers is absolutely hilariously easy. So we're going to just kick things off. We're going to start because this is a guide and we're going to get to the point. The military camos obviously are not going to ask you to do critical hit kills, aka headshots, because they're launchers, for goodness sake. All they're going to ask you to actually do is a total of 2,000 kills with each of these launchers. And as you can imagine, we've already cheat coded this. Everybody knows this at this point. If you don't know, you've been living under a rock. But there is such a thing called Citadel de Mort. That map has an oil trap technique. I've plugged it in enough videos, so I'm just going to pop it up there on the screen, okay? That's the video I'm on about. I explained the whole thing there, but it's really not that complicated. At the end of the day, that trick is going to get you all 2,000 of these kills done super easily without even actually having to sit and blow zombies up, because it can be kind of annoying. You do have to run around a lot. You have to distance yourself from zombies before firing. So it's really just going to be a slow process doing those 2,000 kills manually. So I would rather have them automatically done for me by a trap that allows me to be semi-AFK. That is going to be the quickest way of getting those 2,000 kills done. And then for specials, we obviously have the first launcher to do, which is the Sigma 2B. I always hate saying this name because now brain rot has completely captured my brain. Every time I hear Sigma, I'm just thinking of the Sigma male jokes. So this one is just 300 eliminations with the weapon whilst it's pack-a-punched. Easy. Just get your pack-a-punch, sit in the oil trap. One thing I will actually warn you of, though, which has kind of become a bit of an annoyance recently, and I don't know if it's because the oil trap is just not as strong with the launchers compared to, like, primary weapons that use bullets. For some reason, you're more likely to get hit by zombies while doing the oil trap than you are with other traps. Now, it doesn't mean that this trap doesn't work anymore. It's actually just that the launcher requires more pack-a-punches or more upgrades to its rarity before you actually see the zombies dying quick enough, because normally the Citadel oil trap is going to kill zombies quickly based off headshots, right? But you can't actually get headshots with a launcher, meaning getting Deadshot Daiquiri perk is going to do absolutely nothing anyway. So literally the trap is going to be a lot more annoying for those earlier rounds, especially as you get into later rounds and you're not upgrading your pack-a-punch quick enough. You're going to notice you're going to get hit by those bucket-headed zombies a lot more frequently. Now, some of them will die in the trap, but there's always the occasional bucket-headed zombie that will walk up to the wall where you're stood and start swinging at you. So one thing I actually have to say, even if these whole kills in general and the pack-a-punch kills are going to be easy with the oil trap, one thing I will definitely say you should have on, which will help at least for a good amount of time before maybe it starts to wear off in its use, is the Melee Macchiato. This is a perk that allows you to sucker punch zombies and it kills them immediately, especially for the first 20-30 rounds. I think beyond round 20 actually it starts to require multiple punches, so at that point it's not going to do a whole lot, but it's definitely helped in the rare circumstance that I've had an annoying strayed zombie that manages to get past the oil trap and starts hitting at me. You're going to need that to punch them, because firing the launcher at your feet is a very gravely stupid idea. So yeah, the launchers are just going to be a bit annoying like that, and pack-a-punching is going to take a bit longer longer than the usual weapon, just because gathering essence in general is going to be a lot slower. So it is going to suck, but let me tell you, the oil trap is going to absolutely speed that camo up. The second special camo for the Sigma 2B is going to ask you to get 75 armored zombie eliminations, which again will happen actually whilst you're using the oil trap AFK, basically. But what I will tell you, if it helps, is that I actually believe that armored zombies do spawn in post round 8 or post round 10, and they're obviously going to get more and more frequent in how often they spawn as you get into later rounds. So you are going to want to stay in games for the long haul if you want to get the most progress out of this. It's just one of those things, and like I say, the best way you can technically stay alive doing these launches, if I wanted to get into a game quicker, I would start off for the first 5-6 rounds with the Rampage Inducer on. I know it sounds counterintuitive because we're using a launcher and you don't actually get enough space between you and the zombies to fire at them when they're sprinting right into your face, but believe you me, those first 5 to 6 rounds are a complete slog, so you're going to want to speed them up with Rampage Inducer. Once you've done that and you've got to about round 6, I usually switch it off, and then once I've got enough essence, I will actually make sure to kill enough zombies but leave about 1, set up the game generally, you know, use the cannon, all that stuff, get the general game going, obviously keep going from there, and then when it comes to like the oil trap and stuff, again, you're going to want melee macchiato on, you're going to want juggernog to improve your health, and you're going to want to have speed cola on to make your reloading quicker. They're the main 3 I'm going to recommend, and from there on out, you're going to want to just solely go to the workbench only to get molotovs whenever you actually have at least 1 zombie that's crawling or just 1 left, because if you're going off to that workbench to buy more molotovs for the trap and there's a bunch of zombies and you don't have any field upgrade like the Tesla Storm to stun them, or you don't have the Ether Shroud, I think they call it, to actually disappear into the ether for a few seconds, you're literally going to get your ass whooped. So you're going to want to really be strategic about when you go to get your Pack-a-Punches, when you go to get more molotovs. Generally speaking, the armored zombies are going to spawn in later rounds. If you keep going through the trap and just rinse repeating the cycle, you'll get those done really quickly. Yeah, and even without the trap, you can kill armored zombies without a problem. It's a launcher at the end of the day, and if it gets Pack-a-Punched, one of the lovely things about these weapons is you will be able to constantly fire multiple times until you've ran out of all your primary rockets. So the Pack-a-Punching actually makes the gun firing even quicker and even more deadlier. Really satisfying once you get Pack-a-Punch. So anyway, I've blabbered on enough. That's the Sigma 2B, and finally we have the HE1. Not much of a difference to the Sigma 2B. They're basically identical, let's be honest.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
The first special camo you're going to have for that is to get 30 vermin eliminations. You're going to get the most vermins, obviously, on Liberty Falls that only spawns in the vermins. To get them in general, you're going to want to just make sure to go into longer rounds, especially on any map that you're on, because the special rounds that happen every so often, you know, with the green gassy sky and all that kind of stuff, those are going to spawn even more vermins as time goes on. If you're getting to like round 20 something or round 30 something and it gets to the special round, you're going to get absolutely tons of vermin kills. You could probably even get this done in one match with that many vermin spawning in. Again, the trap can actually do that for you. The other challenge being 300 eliminations with the HE1 at rare rarity or higher. Obviously, you go to the arsenal. Yeah, about 1,500 total if you're going to jump straight to rare rarity, but anything higher than blue color as well also counts. So this is, again, really simple. These camo challenges for these 2 launches are so simple compared to multiplayer, and it only gets even funnier when you see the Mystic Gold challenge. The Mystic Gold challenge is going to ask you for both weapons to get 3 kills in a single shot 15 times. You can rinse repeat this at the start of a match, so even if you were to sit in the oil trap and you died just before you were about to start working the Mystic Gold and you thought, oh wow, my game kills me right before Mystic Gold, it's not even a big deal, mate. You can go into a new match and you can just rinse repeat 3 kills just easily. You can get 2 of these done in the first round of a new match because there's 6 zombies on the first round. You can get 3 of them in a circle, blast them, get the other 3, blast them. You can get this done really easily even without having a high game going or any amount of Pack-a-Punching on your weapon. So this one is going to be super simple, and it's going to generally consist of you running around and shooting those zombies in masses as they're following you, because yes, this one involves actually firing the weapon, not using the oil trap. The other challenge is the OPAL challenge. This one is 30 special zombie eliminations, and you already know my best advice is usually just to go with the Tomb technique. I have that video up there, and it still works pretty well. Now, I don't know if there's a nerf that's gone on with this, or if it's just because launchers seem to be doing more splash damage to other regular zombies around the special zombies, hence cutting the trial shorter and making you have to go into more games to actually do this. It could quite well be that, or it could be that there's some nerf going on where they've actually lowered the number of rounds as you leave and enter the ice staff trial. So this one, again, you can do it mainly on the tube. You can get about 8 to 10 done a match. You're going to want to make sure to only hit the special zombies and don't hit any other zombies around them as best as possible. It just allows the trick to keep going on longer. If you find that this one is not really getting you as much progress, you can technically go with Citadel's oil trap as well, killing doppelgasts. That does work. That is pretty fast as well. But again, be warned, the speed of that trap is only going to get more quicker as the rounds get later and later into the game, because post round 20, that's when you're going to get the most doppelgasts. It's really a pick or choose with this OPAL Camo for these launches, but either way, those are your two options to get this done quickly. I have to say, honestly, the ranking's fairly simple in my opinion. I think it's going to be Sigma 2B and then the HE1. I don't really quite like how far the zoom is. I think this one has a bigger zoom actually when you go into aiming, but when you actually use the Sigma 2B, it's a little bit further out and a little bit more boxier and nicer to look at. And I also believe as well that with the Sigma 2B, it's quicker when pack-a-punched.
Now, the reason for this, and I actually forgot to mention, because this is another reason why the Sigma 2B is miles better than the HE1, it's because the Sigma 2B actually holds up to 3 rockets at a time, whilst the HE1 only holds 1 at a time. So, obviously, you can see which one's better.
So, I don't know if that is the same as it is with multiplayer. I think with multiplayer, the Sigma 2B was at the top because it has the lock-on and stuff. So, it's kind of interesting to see that even with the differences with challenges, they're both the same ranking at the end of the day. No matter which game you go into, they both come out in the same ranking. Yeah, but anyway, that's the launchers. 2 of them very simple, very easy to do. So now, I'm probably going to go on to, you know what, I'll do the marksman rifles, then SMGs, and then I'll leave the melees to last. Thank you for watching. If you guys did enjoy, you found this useful, be sure to drop a like on the video. Helps me out greatly in the algorithm. I could really do with it. And leave a comment as well to help with the video as well. Let me know your thoughts and feelings if you want. Thank you once again, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, guys.